Oh, Joe. We asked the question, why are some Arizona GOP reps willing, or they were willing, to break with the president on the Epstein files? Why were they willing to do that? Although the president now says that he, too, is for releasing the files. He's now changed his mind. Why? Can I just point out that this is all because of Arizona? This is all because Adelita Grijalva was
sworn
elected.
in.
Well, elected and then finally sworn in.
Yep. Okay. And, well, had that not happened, it would have been another Democrat.
No, all the Democrats. Oh, in that district, right?
Yeah.
But
that was the vote
one
that got it over the
That's the
hump.
one.
Now, still don't know what's going to happen with the Senate here.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. Is that one of the reasons that you had Eli Crane and Andy Biggs, who after a year of saying, no, we're not going to release the files, are like, yes, we have to find out who the perpetrators are. All of a sudden, they're very big on doing right.
I think that gives them some political cover, but then doesn't that really turn up the heat on the Senate?
Yes.
I mean, you're going to, I haven't looked at the map, but there's at least a few senators who are going to be up for re-election in 2026.
Yeah.
I have to assume those GOP senators are at least somewhat nervous if they vote no on that could be their fanny on the hot seat and they could be out of a gig.
Yeah, but it would take more to defect.
It would take more.
It would take more senators to defect because they have a larger majority in the Senate than what they do, percentage-wise, than what they do in the House.
But still, this feels like an issue that people will remember for a while, even if it is not a year from now. Maybe it's 3 years from now. Maybe it's 5 years from now. But this definitely seems like something that will be used against people in campaigns if they don't vote to release these files. So I think it could get very nasty for those senators. But yes, in terms of the House, I do think that's why the Cranes and the Biggs, at least in part, I think they also were playing some political calculus here. And
yes,
with Biggs running for governor, I think he is constantly weighing the math of, look, I've been in the president's camp for the longest time. I am a loyal backer. I believe what this guy wants to do. But if I don't go against him on this, that could cost me my shot to be governor. And then what do I have?
Does it also give him an opportunity to paint himself as an identity that is not Trump Jr.?
A Trump puppet?
Trump, yes, exactly.
A trumpet?
And he can just say, well, look, when I disagree with the president, I'm willing to stand up for what's right after it becomes obvious that the files are going to be released anyway, and I'm not going to have much of a chance. I want to make sure I'm on the right side of this. I mean, you talked about political calculus. Isn't this basically Andy Biggs saying, well, now that supporting the president doesn't benefit me, now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say, that's right, I stand for the people.
Well, and I think that's in part why we saw Trump flip over the weekend, too. From it's a Democrat hoax, we don't want anything to do with it, to, yeah, release the files, let's go for it. Because he realized, I can kick and scream all I want, but this vote's going to happen, so why don't I say that I support it?
I just can't understand why he was opposing it to start with. I genuinely can't, because I don't think, and I mean this, and there's going to be some of you that don't like Trump that are going to say that I'm crazy, and there's going to be some of you that like Trump that are going to say, well, it's finally time you woke up, you moron. But I think that he's all over those files. We already know he's all over the files. But I don't think that there's anything in there that ties him to trafficking or pedophilia.
I'm sure his name is in there, but I'm with you on that. I think he's been against the release of this. I think Biden's been against the release of this. I was kicking this around with Broomhead this morning. I think there's some national security issues in there. That,
like espionage stuff? Or
I think, issues with foreign countries that I think both the Biden administration and the Trump administration realize could jeopardize national security, and they don't want to get out there. I think they've probably been briefed on that, and they realize it could be very bad for the country. I think also there are a number of people, Chris, you know this, we see it all the time in politics. Donors, look at what happened with all the social media companies. They were pro-Biden, then they were pro-Trump. There are donors out there who have big, big dollars. They don't care about the political party. They care about the influence of it all. And there could be a number of donors who are nervous about a name or two that's going to come out that's tied to this. So it's not about the R's and the D's as much as it's about money and protecting certain people that I think they could be nervous about that.
I mean, doesn't that just show us that we have a political class?
Yeah.
That it's not about you and I. And when we see Andy Biggs and Eli Crane change their opinion because the wind is blowing a different direction, doesn't that show us that they're just ambitious to be a part of that political class and leave us in the dust?
Yeah.
I mean, that just bugs the ever-loving snot out of me when I see that. Like, kudos to Thomas Massey, and I never thought I'd say it, but kudos to Lauren Boebert and to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, don't kid yourself about them, though, too. Do you think that...
Yeah, but they've been consistent on this issue at the very least.
Okay, on this issue.
Yeah.
But this is a huge reason why I can't stand politicians. Because, again, they will do this because, again, they feel it will help them get elected or reelected or move them on to the next thing they want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I don't know how much this is about nobility and really doing what's right. I think politicians feel that way at times, but there's a much greater percentage of the time where it's about advancing themselves. I think as humans, I think a lot of us act that way.
Incidentally, Marjorie Taylor Greene says that she's done with toxic politics. So no more Jewish space lasers caused natural disasters, I guess. She says she's done with that, and she...
you don't think she really
upset.
believed that one?
Maybe. She got into the public feud with Trump. Trump labeled her as a traitor. She said the most hurtful thing Trump said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger. Has Marjorie Taylor Greene read any of Marjorie Taylor Greene's quotes from the past?
Yeah. It's amazing how people suddenly find a conscience when it's, nasty words are pointed at them.
Right. No, she said she recognizes, it was after the Charlie Kirk assassination, that she recognizes that she was part of the problem. And if that's the case, I have to give her some credit for maturation. I don't know if I believe it, but I got to give her some credit for at least she's saying the things that she should be saying. Right? In the past, she hasn't even done that. So to her, congratulations.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.